Good morning. Alan Sess and I are co-chairs for the stewardship effort at the church this year. Stewardship Sunday is coming up next Sunday, the 26th. We hope to see you all here. We hope to have a good turnout. During the service that day, we'll turn in our annual giving card at the service. After the service is over, we will go to the fellowship hall and have a delicious catered meal. Once we have a new year, we have a new pastor, we have a new church name, and we have a new denomination. But some things never change. We have the same church facility. We have the same church staffing requirements. We've got the same bills that come in every month. So as you consider your relationship with the church, let your heart decide how you will continue your relationship with the church. And now Deanne will explain and tell how this church means to her and why she continues to do the marvelous work that she does.
Good morning. I'm Deanne Ogburn, and I'm here to share a little bit about my journey here at Columbia Methodist Church. Why this church? Why? As a kid, I really didn't have an option. My parents basically drug us here as a kid. But then I really think about my family's legacy here at this church. My grandmother, Faye Watts, was a member of this church for 64 years. My mother, Billy Watts Brown, was a member of this church for 71 years. And my dad, R.L. Brown, was a member for 64 years. I was baptized in this church, and I became a member myself 50 years ago. My husband, Jeb, joined the church 25 years ago, and our children, Derek and Jenna, were baptized here and became members in their youth as well. But more recently, our fifth generation but our granddaughter was baptized here in this church. My mother taught Sunday school classes for years, and they led MYF for a while. I followed in her footsteps, and I led MYF for a short time when I was in college, and I taught Sunday school in children's church when our children were young. And now our daughter Jenna is helping out some on the Wednesday night connections, teaching the little classes. That's a lot of legacy in this church. The only time that I can remember that I did not attend this church was when I was in college at the University of Texas, Hookem. The Methodist church was literally on the corner of the campus and just across from my dorm. I visited it several times, but it really just wasn't the same. I missed this church and our friendly people. So it was really a no-brainer when I graduated and came back home that I came back to this church. This was my church. The people of this church have made a huge impact on my life throughout all these years. So many times this church has carried me and my family through hard times with its prayers and its support, like when our son was hospitalized as an infant for a month, and when I lost both of my parents 87 days apart, and most recently through Jeb's illness. The prayers were just overwhelmingly felt, kept me so calm through all of those things. You know, I could have chosen to worship at any church as an adult, but I didn't want to. This was my home. This is my church. And I'm sure most of you have heard, I always think about that hymn, "We Are the Church." It reminds me of our church so much. The lyrics are, "I am the church, you are the church, we are the church together. All who follow Jesus all around the world, we are the church together." And now that you got that tune stuck in your head, I do. Our financial giving enables our church to do what God calls us to do, to help people and to serve Christ. And there are so many people in our community that our church impacts and changes all because of our support. I see them every Thursday that I work the volunteer desk. And then on Wednesdays, I see the kids that we help and support. And we grow spiritually while we're helping to grow God's ministries here. Luke 12, verse 34 says, Jesus says, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." My heart has absolutely grown here at Columbia Methodist Church, and it's my honor to support its godly missions and to keep me spiritually focused on God. And I pray the same for each of you. I encourage you to think about your relationship with God in this church. Thank you.
Thank you. What a spectacular testimony about the ongoing ministries of this church, how it's made a difference in years past, how it's making a difference presently. And it's only through the full participation of the members of the church with our time, our talents, and our treasure that God's kingdom can come in its fullness as it's doing right now and even today.